My name is Fritz OG. 35, from Queens. I became a parent at 26, and I'm here.
That's how this is starting off.
My name is Chad Millman. I'm a music producer, podcaster, and I've been writing about my experience as a father for 8 years. Hip-hop music and culture has played a major role in my generation, and it is also reflected in how I raise my daughter and nephew. Not a part of Generation X, but not quite a millennial either. Dads like me, black men actively raising our kids within a couple or solo, are often spoken of and for, but when is the last time you actually heard directly from us? We're complex, and we deserve our own platform. Over the past 2 years, I've interviewed my peers around the greater New York City area to answer one question. What happens when the first group of men born into the hip-hop generation grow up and become fathers?
My name is Mario F. Daniels.
Trey Sherwood.
Brian Summers.
Hi, my name is Philip Oden.
Lafayette Hunter.
Sky Pegram.
Gasmere Daniel Valson.
Alfred Sylvester.
Christopher Reyes.
Kyle Wilson.
Joe Hester.
James Lopez.
Jaquan Holiday.
Troy Walker. Habit, that's that audition shit.
I was born in 1986.
I'm 34 years old.
Born in 1991.
1980.
1982. 1991.
1986.
1979.
1986. 1982.
31 years old.
86.
I became a parent at 21 years of age. Became a father at the age 21.
When I became a father, I was 23 years old.
I became a father in January 2011.
I was 26 when I became a parent.
I was 31 years old.
And I became a father at the age of 33. I became a father when I was 22. So in 2007, I was a senior at Morehouse College, and that's when my first son was born.
At the age of 17, man, I became a father.
I became a father when I was 17.
I became a father when I was 31.
When I was around 22 years of age, after I had just came out the Army.
I had my daughter when I was 26.
And I'll be 32 when my son or daughter is born.
I'm from New York City, born in Queens, but raised in Manhattan.
Brooklyn.
I'm from New Haven, Connecticut.
New Jersey, Camden, Cherry Hill area.
Born and raised in Queens, Brooklyn, New York.
From Hempstead, Long Island. I'm from St. Albans, Queens.
Brooklyn, New York.
Originally from PG County, Maryland, right outside of DC.
Bronx, New York. Now reside in Staten Island.
I would say like 9 when we moved to Long Island.
Reside in Long Island.
West Hempstead.
Baldwin, Freeport area to be exact.
Queens, New York, nigga.
After high school, college, moved to Queens.
Now let me do that again.
Brooklyn.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
So first question, what is the first hip-hop song you can remember or your favorite? Can you recite a line from it? Find a link to the song in your parenting style.
I can't remember the first song, but I remember my first tape, my first hip-hop tape legit was Kid and Play 2 Hype.
OPP or Hip Hop Hooray. It was one of the joints that was single on the radio.
That first record I probably would think of that come in my head is the Ghostface record, All That I Got Is You.
Notorious B.I.G.
Biggie Smalls, you're from Brooklyn, so you already know.
Honestly, it's Biggie Warning.
Warning.
One more chance.
Might be kind of crazy.
The first hip hop song that I can remember was a vinyl, and it was NWA.
My mom would tune onto the radio when she was younger, and she played like Dougie Fresh.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five's Freedom. Milk is Chillin'.
And to be honest, it was my dad who gave it to me, and it was Fuck the Police.
He was a beatboxer, and I would ask her like, yo, what's that? And she was like, yo, that's Dougie Fresh. He make noises and beatboxes with his mouth and stuff like that. So I don't really know if that was hip hop, but that's when I first really got introduced to hip hop.
Can't Knock the Hustle.
You might think I'm corny for this.
Probably Mary J. and Method Man, You're All I Need.
Nas.
Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice.
I only got it because my cousin had 2 copies, and he was just like, yo, take this.
Around what year was that?
That was like maybe 96, 97.
It happened to come across my ear. I think I was maybe like 6 years old.
I connected to it more on the emotional side, like it's one of the first records in hip hop that I actually felt that way about.
I also like the Creator as well. The Creator resonated with me at that time of my youth. Also B.I.G. My youngest sister's father, he was a big Biggie fan when he was alive. And, you know, that was one of the songs that we'd blast on the way to him dropping me to school when I went to school in Brooklyn. It was just, you know, and it's just a vivid memory of me in the passenger seat. Mind you, I'm definitely not supposed to be in the passenger seat now that I know that at this age.
All I can remember from that vinyl was the hook and me telling my dad, Dad, I can't believe you're doing this to me, man.
And when CL came on the mic and he goes, CL, we sell, hi, how you doing? With the creator, let your body unloosen, step up or shut up to the hype remix. This one's dope, so you all need a fix.
Dummies, Playboy bunnies, those wanting money.
Let me think.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition.
Giz is chilling.
Like how you like me now, I go blouse, the shit that goes foul, making every ghetto's foul.
2 at the foot, 2 at the head. And when he sleep with John, he peed the bed, plucking roaches out the cereal box. Like that song was just crazy. It was so real.
What more can I say? Top billing.
If everybody in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged, something, everybody will be each other's crutches, right?
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine.
His public service announcement, and there was a line on, he said, you could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here.
And I'll do the clean version. Who the is this?
Paging me at 5:46 in the morning.
At the crack of dawn and now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eye.
Wipe the coal out my eye. See who's this paging me and why.
I love that song.
Like sweet morning dew, I took one look at you, and it was plain to see you are my destiny.
It's something. Grab a hold of me tightly. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Whenever I used to get angry, I would go into the corner and literally rap that song to myself just to kind of calm down. And seeing the youth and the energy is just something that, you know, had me gravitate towards the culture even more.
It's easy. You know, it's not a complicated song. Guys were having fun.
Everybody know that song. It's like one of the hottest tracks back from the 90s. I think it was the first time I actually learned all the lyrics to any hip hop song.
I knew it word for word because literally I would listen to it every day.
O is for other, P is for people, scratch your temple. The last P, well, that's not that simple.
There's a duality between the words and life. Like anything could be a metaphor. A lot of these songs came out before I was even old enough to be able to listen to hip-hop, because in my house, you know, we didn't really listen to hip-hop. My father was a pastor.
It honestly introduced to just a different form of music that was a little grittier, and it was real in their approach of delivering a message.
It just made me think of growing up and like some of them parallels that friends had, and like my parents being from Haiti, like they probably grew up in the same type of like conditions, just in different places.
Personally, I don't come from a close-knit family.
I try to teach my kid where I'm from, even though, you know, he was born in a different state.
A lot of the males in my family have either been deported back to Panama where they came from or are not alive. I had a lot of drug dealers and a lot of different type of street types in my family. Even myself at one point.
That was a point in time also when I was confused about a lot too in life, you know, which path I wanted to go down and stuff like that.
Growing up and seeing a lot of my friends that probably had similar situations where they had a lot of brothers and sisters and they were struggling.
So when I think about that, I always think about togetherness. I think about building each other up and making sure that no one in the family is left behind.
If I had to connect it to my parenting style, I try to be very direct, and I try to communicate my messages clear enough for my children to understand.
My father wasn't really around like that, so a lot of the stuff I do now with my kids growing up, I try to make sure, you know, I'm always in their life. I try to applaud them with everything they do. You know, I try to just be physically there. Sometimes it's not about, you know, what you give them and all that other stuff. It's about, you know, the time that you spend with them.
I think wanting children to have a good time and experience what it's like to grow up and have a great social life, party, and just give good vibes and good energy. I think that's something I try to instill in my sons.
And I try to parent the same way. Not too difficult, easy, and we can have fun with it all growing together.
When I started off, I was 17 years old. So I really didn't know anything, you know, besides seeing, you know, how my mom raised me and seeing, you know, cousins and uncles.
I'm a very chill person now, but I was a rambunctious kid, to say the least. So I know I'm gonna get that back as I'm raising my daughter.
When I'm talking to my daughter and she doesn't want to listen, you know, she has to collaborate with what I'm saying.
Kind of winged it, you know, I kind of grew as they grew.
As a parent, that I gotta go hard. I gotta go hard like I'm a suicide bomber. You know what I mean? I gotta have that power as if I am a gun.
I basically say F the world and do what I want when it comes to my kids and how I educate them.
So along the way, you know, you learn stuff, especially for a teen dad.
So I'm gonna go all out and I'm gonna stick up the industry. Either it has to be a soccer game with my kid or, you know, working a 9 to 5 to get by, I'm gonna go give him my all.
I'm a strong believer in being an independent person, and that's something that I want my kids to do. Instead of just chasing the rat race, I want them to create their own race.
Those words kind of depict all children's, and not only children, but people's visions for themselves. You know, you want to dream, you want to be able to branch out.
I believe that it's important for them to stop doing the rat race or stop chasing the rat race because it won't bring happiness. You hear about all these other dads or even moms that are 50, 60 years old telling people, I wish I would have done this when I was younger. And that's something that I want to educate my kids on. I want them to actually know that there's another world out there, one that they can chase and one that they can create.
I have the privilege of being the father of a daughter.
I'm excited to be around my daughter all the time, you know.
She's 15 years old now.
But sometimes I gotta chill out a little bit.
And that song carefully compares to any little boy that's trying to talk to my daughter. I'm gonna give you a warning and say, who the hell is this?
As far as my parenting style, it gives a little bit of a sort of, I don't know, a little bit of an old school flavor plus a new school vibe to it. And I feel like I'll take some of what my parents, you know, kind of put on me when I was growing up and pass down to me and instilled in me, and then also add a little bit of my flavor to it to raise my child as well.
If I got to bring it down to them for, you know, 11, 12-year-olds age group, that's what I try to do. Similar to, you know, rap in a way.
It's still here in my head from his voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that's probably why I'm such an avid Biggie fan at this point too.
They've helped me grow. I mean, they've helped me mature and, you know, more than what I was at that age. So it's been a blessing.
I could imagine like my father coming in the room and you pee on the bed? Why you pee on the bed for?